everyone. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, you know when the day just like runs away. We had a runaway day yesterday, and anyway, you know me, I just say, well, I guess I wasn't supposed to do it today. I guess I'm supposed to do it tomorrow. So it's kind of a nice way to be, right? Like, to me, that is not spiritually bypassing. That's just saying, you know, the cards didn't align and everything didn't align for today. They're aligning for, or yesterday, they're aligning for today. So here I am. We're ready to go for, it's for the next 6 days. Here's the reading that has come through. Our first thing is our oil of the week, and it's cardamom. So this, I got a card from Jen Ripa, her beautiful divine and channeled picture of cardamom. And her message on the back is to take a deep breath, breathe in slowly and breathe out slowly. Feel the power in your navel center and become aware of your own self-mastery. So beautiful sentiment. Cardamom is so freaking yummy. If you like chai tea, you can put a couple of drops of this oil right into the top of the tea, and it's just heavenly. Cardamom is the oil of objectivity. It's helpful in terms of regaining control. So again, you know, obviously these readings, you can take them and use them however you want. To me, they have to do, you know, with us and the microcosm of ourselves, our internal lives, and then of course in the macrocosm of maybe not just even our families or communities, but the world in its entirety. So interesting. This oil is going to help us regain self-control. It assists people who are frustrated and angry with others. So if you need a bottle of cardamom, let me know. And especially, this is just so key right at this, we're on the verge. Hey Melissa, you know what, you can get these cards from Jen Ripa's website. It's thrivology.com, I believe, or .org. Oh, you know what, here it is, thrivology.com. This is what they look like. Oops, there you go. So yeah, so the cardamom essential oil is, hey Valen, so good to see you here. So cardamom is a special oil that tastes delicious, smells delicious. Put it in the diffuser. It helps us to regain self-control. It helps people who are frustrated and angry and who are directing that anger outward, right? So people who behave in anger and frustration have that inside of themselves, and they are literally, they don't know how to manage it, and it gets pushed outside. So, you know, this oil will also help you if you are kind of hyper-focused on a problem or a frustration. And it also helps us to let go of emotional distortions and will help us to stop blaming and help us to regain our own personal responsibility. So I just, you know, think it's perfect for our times right now. Excellent reminders, and that reminder of, you know, what's happening outside is really what's happening inside, and to the more we go in and the more work we do on ourselves, the better that not just our life is going to be, but all lives are going to be. So, okay, so this is a big astrological week, a really big month. I think I said that last week. You know, we have a solar eclipse that is happening literally on the summer solstice here in the United States. Obviously the winter solstice down under. But so, you know, solar eclipses are already more intense. You know, the summer solstice is a beautiful, you know, day of balance. However, things are going to be a little funky this year, or a little different, possibly have a lot more charge added to it. What's interesting is that the solar eclipse, you know, it's the sun covering over the moon. So if you think of it, it's really, you know, the divine masculine covering over the divine feminine. So energetically, it might be a funky day. So, you know, as I always say, you know, have compassion for yourselves, for the people around you. Mercury goes retrograde to, you know, really kind of now-ish into tomorrow. And for 3 weeks, we are in that energy. And so this will bring us to a time where we have 4 different planets that are in retrograde. And, you know, we really are being pushed more. And again, be aware of what's happening outside of us. Be aware right now, there's a lot going on in our world. But we also have a choice to stay away from it. And so, you know, really keep, like I posted on my page last week, I think, this tapping, heart tapping. It's really been so helpful for me lately to just get back into my body, into my heart, and to get out of my brain and my mind. And this tapping is just really balancing and centering, and it reminds us to come from our hearts and what we're feeling and our bodies. And so this is a great time of change and transition, but we can stay stuck in our old ways and old ways of thinking. And so this Mercury retrograde, along with the eclipse, along with all of the other planets that are in retrograde, you know, is really gonna possibly push us. And especially for people who've been kind of choosing to not make some inside changes that of course lead to outside changes. So when that is going on, when you've been holding back, and when you can feel that you want things to be different, you can feel this confusion, you can feel instability in yourself, you can feel extreme annoyance, anger, frustration, and then you don't do anything about it, you just push everything back down. These next couple of weeks, you may not be able to push things back down. And that's a really, really good thing. So it's okay. It just might be a little messy. It's also, you know, this Mercury retrograde, you know, helps us to, like, people from the past come back into our lives again, or themes of the past will come back in. Communication can be challenging, travel can be challenging. So especially with communication, again, just be kind with your words. Be really aware of what you're posting, what you're like on social media, what you are and then also what you are seeing on social media, knowing, wow, I could be misinterpreting what this person is saying, right? Like, or texting, or emailing, you know. So just know that is the type of communication snafus that could wind up making your life more challenging. So we get to choose as humans how we want to interpret the things that are going on outside of us, what kind of perspective we want to have or not have. And so you get to choose how you want to live through this time period. And you can be like banging the drum of something, and there's a lot of drums that are banging right now. And so just know that as you're doing that, that you are in that energy, you're bringing more of that energy, and you're not bringing a peaceful energy. You can be saying peace, 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 but your energy is anger, frustration, right? And so, you know, we have to, well, we don't have to, we can choose. Hi, Winnie. So this is also just not a time to numb yourself. You know, again, this has been something that was just a very interesting thing to note during all of these lockdowns, that, you know, liquor stores stayed open, dispensaries stayed open, you know, but like different health clinics were closed, and gyms were closed, yoga studios were closed, right? So, yeah, you know, again, to me, that's not subtle. That is not a subtle message. It's like, you know, if everyone would just numb themselves, everything would be a lot easier. Well, who would it be easier for? Certainly not for us, because ultimately it's all going to come crashing down. So, yeah, so anyway, I don't want to tell people what to do. No judgment, but this is probably not a good time to numb. This is all about self-responsibility. Judgments and all judgments of others are really not helpful, and they perpetuate pain and suffering for you and everyone around you. All right, that's enough of that. Onward bound. Our second card of the day is the red kangaroo, which is all about responsibility. So this is quite a reading today. It's a little heavy, but then it'll lighten up. So the red kangaroo is about responsibility. It actually, when I was reading about it, this kangaroo can maintain 3 babies at the same time. It has one kind of toddler at its feet, it has one inside its pouch, and then it has one inside the womb, all at the same time. And so, however, when things get stressful, this kangaroo can put the fetus inside of it, pretty much like into suspension, basically, and it can. And the toddler grows up, the one that's in the pouch comes out of the pouch, becomes the toddler, grows, and it will not continue this cycle, because it needs to have good self-responsibility. She needs to take care of herself first in order to have enough energy, and so she puts things on hold. So what are you putting on hold? What am I putting on hold? What creativity and creations are you putting on hold? Because things are stressful. And again, in some ways, it perpetuates the stress when we stop doing the things that bring bliss and joy and happiness and love into our lives. So make sure you're doing the things that you love, make sure you're still being creative and doing your creative projects. Don't put them into suspension like the red kangaroo. Okay, so that was that. Okay, so I asked the question. I got our. Hi, Joanne. I know. Couldn't get it done yesterday. All right, so. When I ask the question, how can we all most powerfully move forward in our lives right now? This is what I get. What am I curious about? What am I curious about? So I love that question. What am I curious about? And so what I've been curious about lately is, again, that same theme of responsibility. And it's also about being sustainable and self-sustainable, during this time, and during this time of transition and what feels like uncertainty in certain areas. And so if you're curious about that, then move in that direction, get your questions answered, figure things out of how you can be sustainable on your own, so to speak. Okay, final card is Lakshmi. So she is the goddess of abundance and fortune and beauty and fertility of ideas. Again, I think I'm past having babies at this point, having human babies. I just have puppy babies, but anyway. So, but it's really of ideas. Of fertility is the ideas, the creativity inside of us. And she is coming to bless us all and remind us that she's recognizing our generosity and our love and our giving natures, and she is bringing all of that to you. So the more, as I've said, you know, the more that you put that out there, the more that's what comes back. So how can we all stay in that place of giving, loving, serving, and then of course it all continues to come back to us. So there you have it. That is your Monday-ish message on Tuesday. Have a beautiful week. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Use your cardamom. Drink some chai tea, which usually has cardamom in it. If you don't have the essential oil and you want it, let me know. I'm happy to get it for you. And but you can also buy like cardamom, you know, at the health food store or wherever you go food shopping. And I'm definitely putting it over on my wrists and on my heart is a great spot. And anyway, thinking about you guys. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you Monday-ish.